Hi YouTubers and flat earthers, this is a little video just to give you some information on flat earth and just to explain a wee bit more on the globe model, so when you're talking to people you can relate to it and understand the sizes. So I've got a model drawn here, a circle representing the earth. It shows you the diameter is 8,000 miles. So what I've drawn is to scale. Now what we're going to do is just to switch on the axis, and I'm going to go in here and go up to the top of the earth here, so-called earth. And now I'm going to draw, actually do it another way. I want to give you some information first. Here, this is the distance to outer space, 62 miles, right? Now this is from the institution, don't know where that went to, but anyway it's from the Aeronautical Space Institution, blah blah blah. So you can do your research in that at 62 miles. So I'm going to scoot out here, 62 miles to outer space, that's the distance. And there's a name for that, it's called the what's it called again? It's called the Kármán line, right? That's where we go from the atmosphere into outer space, so they say. So if this is the case and this is the Earth, what I'll do is I'll represent the Earth as in a little, we'll do it green. Let's see, so I'll put a bit of green in here. That's a bit heavy, that green. Don't like that green. That's a bit light, that green. Okay, we'll go for this green. So that's the Earth, and this gap between here now is our atmosphere between outer space and the Earth, so-called. Right, now let's get some measurements drawn in here so we can relate to it. If I am here and I draw a line out this way, which is now tangent to the top of the Earth, and I type in 500, that will bring me out 500 miles, right? So I'm now out 500 miles, okay? I'm 500 miles out, and I want to actually also do 100 miles. So when I go click out here, draw a line, what I'll do first is I'll just go up here a little bit first, say 10 miles, and come out this way 100 miles. So now you can see here, this represents 100 miles, this represents 500 miles, and the overall it looks like this. Okay. Now I am also going to draw a line from here, which is roughly in between these two, and draw a line 1340 miles. Now you might say, well, what's that line represent? Well, it represents the speed of a Concorde. The Concorde travels at 1,340 miles per hour. So if a plane was on top of the Earth and it took off in 1 hour's time, it would be out here in outer space. So what's going on? Why do we need these big rockets to fly up and to go out to outer space when in half an hour Concorde can fly out into outer space? Now I've heard all these theories about when you fly through the atmosphere, you're flying in layers, and the plane, let me just draw that actually, I'll grab that line there. I heard this from some of the some people who told me. These guys were supposedly experts. So we'll make this a little bit here. Just make it blue so you can see it. So what they tell us is this here, say it later on, that's a plane. It flies, I have to laugh at this. It flies level around the Earth, right? This is what the guy told me. He says it flies level around the Earth, and I said to him, what do you mean flies level around there? If you can't fly level, it's either level or you're flying on a curve. And he goes, no, it's sea level. you fly level, like sea level is. And I'm going, what level doesn't mean level. No, it means level, but you're flying on a curve. And I'm going, fly level on a curve. And so they just go, oh, you don't understand. You don't understand how the Earth makes you fly level around, and you just fly through these layers of atmosphere and bar pressure. And so, folks, it's double talk. You can't fly level, or you can't fly level on a curve. It's like saying going straight on a curve. That's nonsense. It's either one or the other. That's a bit like saying a man-woman or a man-god. It's either man or god. You can't have both. It's one or the other. So that's a nonsense, first of all. You either fly in a curve or you fly straight. So Concorde, if it flew straight, half an hour's time, it would have gone past this barrier here that takes you to outer space. Okay, maybe we'll just put outer space in there for the fun of it. Let's do that for the fun of it. I like a bit of fun. Right, let me click that and draw a outer space here. So we'll just do it to about there, and let's see what happens. We'll make that a bit grey. So there we have it. Fly into outer space. This is the Earth's atmosphere. This is the Illuminati triangle. Alright, let's get rid of that. So, what have we learned so far? We've learnt that there's something wrong. Why are these shuttles or these rockets at NASA flying up straight into the air to go into outer space when it's quite easy just to fly out into outer space? Take you half an hour in a Concorde. And even if if you flew straight and the rudder was kept straight, well, this is a bit like you can drive on a motorway, and if you just turn your steering, if you're flying along a motorway dead straight and you turn your steering a little bit, you'll soon come off the motorway. It's the motorway straight. You can't go straight on a motorway and turn the steering a little bit and find yourself on the motorway. So they're trying to tell you that flying around the Earth is like being on a curved motorway. But even at that, you'd have to hold the steering accordingly. To go around a curved motorway, you have to hold the steering. You can hold it straight, but then there have to be a tilt on it, on the motorway. So, and you can learn that from the bicycles that they have when they run around the circuit. You understand the tilt, and they can keep themselves straight, but yet they're going on a curve. Anyhow, it's all nonsense. Here, I want to show you now the maths so you can understand what you're being told. Now, you've already been told here, it takes you half an hour to fly into outer space with Concorde. And now there's even faster planes than Concorde. So they can get to outer space, 15 minutes, boom. Right, that's the outer space thing talked about. Now let's zoom in here and see the other crazy bit of information. Here we have this line here, which represents 100 miles out. If you were standing on the Earth here, and you're looking out into outer space here, let's move this down. Say we're looking out that way. Let's zoom right in. Guess what distance this is here down to the Earth? I've changed my stylus here and make the lines a wee bit thicker so you can see them. Just put in 3. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that, but from here down to the Earth, look in here, from here down to the Earth, it says, what's it say there? It's got 1 in there, so let's get the model more accurate. So I'm going to change the model accuracy. And we're going to go down to see how accurate this model can be. So I'm only going to go to about that many places. Close that and come back down. Now you see here it's 1.25 miles. It's actually 1.2. It's more like 1.3 miles down to the earth. So think about that. You go outside your door and you can see for 100 miles and you should be able to see a drop of 1.3 miles. You really have to let that sink in. The other thing is, notice that if you did look 100 miles or even anything, the horizon line would be beneath your eye line. If you're looking at that now, you can see here there's no land here. It would be void. You'd have to look down to see anything, any land. So that's just pure logic. If you're looking out, the land falls away from you on a curved ball immediately, so therefore the horizon line must be below your eye line. And I'll go show you that in 3D in a minute. So 100 miles out, it's a mile and a third down to the earth. It doesn't matter where you go vertical or go radical from the center here. So next thing is, how far do you think it is if you went out 500 miles? Let's put some measurements in here in case somebody's thinking I'm cheating. So I'll put in here 500 miles, 100 miles. Okay, so the distance here down to the earth, if you went out 500 miles, is almost 32 miles, 31.6 miles. 31.6 miles. We're not talking feet here, we're talking miles. We're talking miles. That is just phenomenal, right? So how can a plane fly straight without having to drop over 500 miles? It's going to have to take a drop of 31 miles in that distance. It's going to have to fly on a curve. Okay, it's got to fly on a curve. And the other thing is, it's nonsense that planes fly in layers, because for about 5 or 6 miles up, you've got this space, and the plane can move up and move down and move up in that space. And whereabouts are you in that space? If you're flying straight, say you're 500 feet up, you flew out, you'd have to go down to 400 feet when you get so certain that you'd have to keep dropping down to keep in line with the curve. There's no way you automatically stay level with Earth. That's a nonsense. It's a pure nonsense that the plane, I was told by this pilot, you go up to the Earth, or so you get up in the plane, set the rudder dead straight, and the plane will fly level. And I said to him, well, the reason why it does that is because the Earth is flat, not because it's a ball. He goes, no. It follows the circumference of the Earth. I'm going, how can any idiot tell you that, especially when you've got space between the Earth and the atmosphere. Okay, on to my next point. Quite clearly you can see there's something wrong there on these distances. We've got 100 mile, it's a mile and a third, and at 500 miles we've got a drop of 31 miles. Wow. And we already seen that if a plane flew out, I think we already did that, if a plane flew out, it'd only take a half an hour to get out to outer space. Right, so next thing, let's look at this in 3D, so then you can get a better understanding of what's going on. Oops, I shouldn't have deleted everything. Just wanted to delete the outside. Now we're going to create a sphere. And I don't need these measurements no more. And we're going to look at it in 3D, so you can see it's impossible for the horizon line to be eye level. It has to be beneath your feet on a globe. Okay, let's get a ball drawn up here. So there's my circumference, and there's the ball. Let's see what we get. It's running it now. And there we have a ball. So this is your planet Earth. Welcome to your planet Earth. You have a so-called planet Earth. So let's take it for a spin. Planet Earth. Looks a bit bumpy, doesn't it? Well, anyway, I'm going to look at it in wireframe mode, and I'm going to zoom in here on top of the Earth, and let us look at it a bit closer here. So this is handy here. We've got these little segments. So let's measure one of these segments and see how many miles it is. So we'll go from the center out to here. Out there is 50 miles. Out to there is that many miles. So we'll go to here about 100 miles, and we'll color this bit in a different color. So we'll come out so many segments. Probably, is it that many segments? Okay, and I'm going to color that in. We'll give it a color of. Do you want to give it a color of? We'll just go there. Now we have this little section, and this will represent. Let's just double check that. I think I have to come out another run there from here to here. Well, this represents 75 miles. So say we can only see about 75 miles. We'll probably struggle after that. So this is our little 75 mile circumference. So it's 150 miles altogether. So let's see what we can see now on a global Earth. So you can imagine planes flying over this, you know, flying all directions. And not only that, you know, down here, just say about 6, say, we know that's only about, zoom out here. Let's give us some bearings here. We'll give put a little line out here, say out this way. And we'll give that a size of 5,000. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go 5,000 miles, so 5000. Okay, so this tells us, gives us a rough distance. So what you're saying to folks is this, about, say, I'm going to divide this into 5 sections, divide this line into 5 sections. That's 4 segments. Sorry, that was actually 4 segments, 5 segments. So that's about 1,000 miles out. Right? Now this is what you're telling people. You're telling people about 1,000 miles away, the Earth's curving away down there, but the rivers are running uphill. Rivers running uphill. They run in the opposite direction of the curve, and they run uphill all over the Earth. The other thing I notice is if you're spinning, if you stood on a roundabout just the way we're standing now, and the Earth was spinning at 1,050 miles an hour. Let's see if I can get her up to that. Whee! Well, I can't get it going that fast, but anyway. Imagine a plane coming in to land on that. Imagine a plane coming in here to land. Let's look at the speed of this. Now this is only to give you an idea what the speed would look like when we're down here. See here? This is around the 75 miles, so that's 25 miles in there. And I'm rotating. The Earth would be rotating a lot faster than this. Do you know what the facts are? If you got 1,040 miles an hour and you divide that by 60, you'll find out how fast you're going per minute. And then if you divide that by 60, you'll find how fast the Earth is going per second. And do you know how fast the Earth is moving underneath your feet per second? 1/3 of a mile. That is the statistics. Now it's 1/3 of a mile. I said that line wasn't on the center, so I can delete that line. is a third of a mile. It's if a plane was to come in and land on the earth here anywhere, and this coming in to land, when it touches the earth, that earth would have moved from underneath its feet a third of a mile. That's what a third of a mile means per second. So airplanes landing on a spinning globe is like you trying to step onto a moving treadmill that's moving. Imagine a moving treadmill, you stepped onto it, it's moving at a third of a mile a second. You're going to land on your ass. So there's no way can planes land on a moving globe at that speed, 1040 miles an hour. Impossible. Let's zoom in now and see what we can see when we're on this earth. So here, coming into land, and I'm going to tilt up and see what we can see. Now I'm going to debunk another theory. You cannot see a curve on a ball earth. You can't. If you're standing on the ground looking out. And here's the reason. See here, as we zoom in here closer, look, as I look out, what do you see? A straight line. And the further you get to near the origin point, the more you're going to see a straight line. So why is that? Why can we not see a curve? You're saying, oh, this is a curve over here. No, it's not. It's a straight line. And the reason for that is quite simple. If you put a hula hoop over your head, you know those hula hoops you put around your waist, but you put it over and you tilt it and you look, just put it to your eye level over your head, so it forms a ring around your head. Anywhere you look around that hula hoop, it's going to be straight edge. It's going to be a straight line. You'll not be able to see a curve on the hula hoop, and that's just how simple it is to explain. The only way you can see a curve is if you were standing on a, let me just draw that. I'll draw to you to explain these things. So I'm going to draw a 4,000 diameter, or not that, and then push pull that. Now if you were standing on this here, let's get into perspective mode, then you would see a curve. See? It's only curving one way, and therefore you'd see a curve. But on a ball, because it curves both ways, you won't see no curve, you'll only see a straight line. And notice the other thing when we were in here is that if we're down here, the horizon is going to be, as we come out level and look out, the horizon will be beneath your eye level, just there. It would be, the horizon line would be at your feet line, and that's just obvious. You know, people, if you can't work that out, then you're not thinking this through. I can show you where, if it was a flat Earth, where the horizon line would be. The horizon line would be on your eye level. So let me see this. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I draw a plane. There's a surface. Now later on we were on that plane. I can delete this now. I don't need that. And we zoom right in here and come right on up and see now. Here we go. I hope you get the revelation of this, and then you can see as we look, and we're down here and we're looking out on a flat Earth. It immediately drips away. See, dips away here, but on a flat Earth, you get the line at your horizon, your eye line here. So I hope you understand that. So that's explain things to you, because you're looking off into the distance and you're seeing the land at your eye level here. So let's see if I can get a little man to put on here. Okay, so this is not to scale, but I just stuck a little man on here to give you an idea. the man is looking out, and as you can see, this is not to scale. The man would actually be a lot smaller than this, and the spacing's not right. But as you can see, as he looks out, you see, oops, I'll go back a bit. You see, this is what he's seeing. The sky is coming down. This is actually parallel. You can see that these are parallel. If I zoom around, you can see that this is not tapering at all. I zoom in here. It looks like it's tapering, right? So I'm going to show you to you that it's not tapering. Oh, come on. Okay, see it's 600 there. And I go over to here. Go to this side. Over here, it's also 600. It's parallel, and in the middle, where the guy is, from here up to here, you can see it's 600. I'm actually taking it off the. It won't actually measure it there for me. I have to put a line in from here down to here. Why can't I get a line to go down vertical? Alright, it's over on the other side there, that's right. So, there's the size. Oh, come on. There's the size of that. I see. So 600. That's parallel. So, but when you come in here and look, and as you spin around, you see the way it tapers down, and that's what you're seeing, folks. You're seeing the earth rise up and the sky come down. If you're on a ball, that you're not going to see any of that. You'll see the earth fall away from you immediately. This video alone should prove to anybody that you are on a flat earth. Let's see. That's what you're getting perspective wise. And see if I can get into a better position there for you. So there's no tricks done on here. That's what you're seeing. That there is probably one of the things that got me going, or started to realize well, things are not the way they say they are. Now, if we had the how can I explain this? Maybe just move a copy of that over here. Later on, that is the sun. Later on, this is the sun. Move here. I'll scale it down a bit so it's in between here. And you're looking down here. You see the sun, and I'm going to bring the sun towards us now so you can see what's actually happening. So as the sun, hold on, I got just to make it a wee bit more, move it up to the top here, move and scale. So move it down a bit. Okay, say that that's our sun, right? And it's moving over the earth. Zoom out. You see the sun down there? Further it goes away, it looks like it's moving, it's dropping in altitude or going around some sort of curve, but that's not what's happening. Watch what happens now when I bring this sun towards the man. You see? Going off at the distance. It looks like it's dropping and going down. See, it's way down at the very end there now, and it disappears. So out into infinity, it goes beyond the eye line. And there's where you're getting your rising and falling sun. Now, as it rises and passes, it seems to go higher in the sky. And it'll keep on going until it goes down on the other side. So as you spin around and you see it heading down. See if I can get that in there. it'll go back down on the other side. Now obviously, as you see, it's heading away off down and then disappears out of view. Going further down. Let me get right around here so you can see it. I'll leave it there and erase that line so you can probably see it. See, it's way down here. Okay. Now obviously this is not taken into factors where you get haze and atmosphere and all that way down in there, and this is not to scale. This is actually 600 miles up. Remember that the outer space was only 60, so this needs to come way down lower. The man has to be made a lot smaller and the sun has to be made a lot smaller. So I hope that gives you some sort of idea that once this clicks in your head and you realize that those two planes that you're seeing, the ground is coming up, and look at the man's, see the man's eye level here. See if I can get this right for you. See his eyes, where he looks out. I need to get this. So as he looks out, his eye level is like that all the time. Your eyes are in line with the horizon down there. That would be the horizon down here. And if you're on a ball earth, there is no horizon. It's down at your feet. You can't get this model here to show you an horizon when you're on the earth ball. There is no horizon on an earth ball. It's that simple. It can't be. It has to be down at your feet. So that should be ample proof to you. I think I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to do these videos if people are not interested. There's loads of things to talk about on them. So thanks for watching.